Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be doing today's episode. And for today's episode, I want to do one that was requested by a viewer. And we're going to talk about the PowerPress system, only we're going to talk about it starting out at a much higher starting bet. So for this one, I'm actually going to set it up twice. I'm going to set us up with $6.40 across, and this would be including the point, so it wouldn't even matter what the point is. Okay? Now, I want to set it up twice and go through this because there's likely going to be a couple ways to do this. Now, to let you guys know, I did not run through this myself before doing the video. I wanted to go over this with you guys at the same time so you can get an idea of how I'm thinking. So we're going to start with the 4 and 10 and how we would press these up to table max as fast as we possibly could. Now, these are going to be a buy from the get-go. So we're going to see exactly what we would want to do. Now, these are probably, both of these methods are probably going to be about the same. So for either one of them, it's going to pay $200 for 5. So the first player is going to throw in the $5, and we're just going to press it all the way up. As you guys know from the PowerPress method, that we are just trying to shoot towards table max as absolute fast as we possibly can. So the same with the other player. The other players are going to throw it in, and we're going to go up to 300. Now from here, where are we going to go to? Well, this is going to pay $600 for 15. So it actually pays $585. So we're going to pay it $600. They're going to throw in 15. We're going to lock that up. And once again, we're going to go all the way up. And same thing for the other player. It's going to get paid $600. We're going to go all the way up. Okay. And if you're wondering why I'm doing two players, the reason for that is with some of these other presses, we're going to get to where we could throw in money to press it up even higher, or we can be a slightly conservative and not throw in money and press it to a slightly lower level. So we're going to do both if it comes up, and we'll see where we're at. Okay. So just to keep track, that's 2 hits so far. So we now have $900 on here. Now, theoretically, one of the players could throw in $100 and build it up to $1,000, but we want to run with what we've got right now. They're already in for $20 a piece, so let's see what happens from here. So now they're going to have to throw in $45 when these hit, but it's going to pay $1,800. So for the first one, comes up, and it's going to pay $1,800 for $45. Throw in $45. It's going to pay $1,800. So what do we have to work with? Well, let's take a look. We've got $2,000. We've got $2,500. $2,700 technically. So this is going to be one part where one player is probably not going to go all the way, while one player is. So this player is going to go up to $2,700. Let's go ahead and swap this one out as well. $2,700. The other player is going to throw in $45. We're going to pay the 18. Now what do they have to work with? The same amount. Only this player is going to collect a couple hundred and just go up to $2,500. Given a choice as a player, I'm more likely to go with this method, not because I don't want to power press, because as you guys know, I want to power press and shoot up as fast as I possibly can. The reason I'm likely to go with this one is because it's going to be faster. It's going to be faster, not in the shooting up to table max. It's going to be faster in how it's dealt. It's going to be quicker. It's going to flow a lot faster. We're going to get rolls quicker. This isn't going to slow the dealers down, while this one is going to slow the dealers down for a second, because once we start getting into amounts like this, the dealers want to be very, very precise. So even though they may know the amount as a a gut instinct, I suppose, they're going to stop and calculate it out very, very carefully, and probably out loud with another dealer to make sure they get it absolutely right. So $2,500 is going to be way, way easier than $2,700. So let's find out. Okay, so $2,700. Now we were at 3 hits. So we're coming up on our 4th hit. So $2,700. What is that going to pay? Well, it's going to pay $5,400. For how much? Well, every 500 has a $25 VIG. So there's 5 of those. So that's $125 right there by itself. $125 VIG plus the $10. So we're looking at $135 VIG from the players. So let's assume they throw it in instead of taking it out of the payment. They may take it out of the payment instead. I probably would, be honest. So they'll throw it in. So we have that to work with. So what do we have to work with? Oh, we've got 7. We have $8,000 to work with. After 4 hits, we have $8,100 to work with. So what are we likely to do from this point? At this point, it's going to depend on what exactly is the table max. Actually, no. It's really not going to depend on what the table max is. We're going to go up to 8,000. We're going to keep 100. So we go up to 8,000. And the player keeps 100. So the next one is just $125 VIG. So let's say they paid out of this. They get 25 back. And now this 2,500 is going to pay 5,000. They go up to 7,000. So this player's gone up just a little bit less, but they've actually recouped what they have paid out in fees, I suppose you would say, while still being pretty close to the amount that the other player is. $1,000 may not sound pretty close, but it is. They're pretty darn close. All right, so 8,000. What is the VIG on this? Well, first off, it's going to pay $16,000. It's going to pay $16,000. Now the VIG on this is going to be $400. It's $50 for every 1,000. So they're going to pay a $400 VIG. So they're still going in the hole. They're continuing to go in the hole. So we'll just say they threw in their 400. Okay. What do they have to work with? They've got $24,000 to work with. So depending on what the table max is, they're either going to go up to $10,000, in which case they've got $14,000 in profit, or they're going to go up to $20,000, in which case they have $4,000 in profit. Either way, they've got a pretty hefty amount of profit for a 5th hit. 5 hits on the 10. What about the other player? Well, the other player is going to have a $350 VIG because they only have 7,000, so it's going to pay 14,000. They throw in their $350 VIG. And now what do they have to work with? 2,100. So they'll either go to their 10,000 or they'll go to their 20,000. Either one pulls them a profit. They are at table max. All depends on what the table max is. So this player has a lower profit, but leading up to this, they made back their VIG fairly quickly, and they also made it easier, and it probably flowed a lot faster. It was a lot quicker for the dealers to deal. So that's the 4 and 10. What about 5 and 9? Let's take a look. Okay, so the 9. The 9 pays 140 for 100. 100 pays 140. So what could they go up to? Well, they could go up to 240. Absolutely go up to $240. But more likely, this player would have thrown in $10 to bring it up to 250. Whereas this player is not going to throw in any money. They're just going to go up to 240. Okay? So what does 250 pay? 250 is really easy. It pays 350. So, with 350, what do they have to work with? They have $600 to work with. Go all the way. Go all the way to 600 bucks. That's after 2 hits. Now, this player with 200 pays 280. 40 pays 56. So this is going to pay 336. So 336. What do they have to work with? Well, they've got 575, $576. Most likely this player, because they're not throwing in money and they're still going to want to keep it relatively simple, it's going to go up to 500. Okay. They go to 500. Well, the player that's at 600. So now we are at, that was our, what, second hit? Yes, that was our second hit. So now on our third hit, 500 pays 700, 100 pays 140. So we're looking at $840, right? So $840. So what do they have to work with? They've got $1,440. So as we usually do, we go all the way up. $1,440. Now this other player only went to 500, so they got $700. Right? So what do they have to work with? Well, we're going to pay $1,200 for 5. What do they have to work with? They have $1,200 to work with. They say screw it, stack it all the way up. Now we're at our fourth hit. So our fourth hit. So once again, what do we have here? We have $1,440. Well, 1,000 pays 1,400. 400 pays 560. We're going to break this down for you guys. Makes it a little bit easier. 40 pays 56. So what do we have to work with? We have $3,456 to work with. This player is likely to throw in enough to bring it up to 3,500. They're going to throw in money for this. This player has 1,200. Well, 1,000 pays 1,400. 200 pays 280. So this pays 1,680. So 1,680. What do they have to work with? Quite a bit. $1,880. This player's probably just going to go to. Oh, I'm sorry. They have 2,880. So this player is likely going to go to 25. And collect. So this player that is at 35, well, 35 pays what? 4,900. 4,900. This is the fifth hit. What do they have to work with? They have 8,400 to work with. So at this point, they're probably just going to stack it all up. 8,000. I'm going to go with 8,000. This player has 2,500. That's going to pay 3,500. They're going to go to 6,000. So by not throwing in any more money and collecting a little bit here and there, they are definitely at different levels, for sure. Where are they going to go from here? Well, 5,000. Did I set this up right? I did not. 5,000 is going to pay 7,000. 3,000 is going to pay 4,200. What do they have to work with? Let's take a look. And we are at hit number 6. So now here's where we kind of run into something interesting. If it's a $10,000 max table, they are at table max and they are collecting. They're collecting $9,000. If it is not a $10,000 max table. Let's say it's a $20,000 max table. They're probably going to do the same thing because no matter what, it's got to take one more hit to hit table max. So at this point, instead of going all the way up to 1900, which would mean that their profit on the next one is going to be a lot higher when they do hit table max, they're going to take their profit now and hit table max on the next roll, which they have to do no matter what. So this player, 5,000 pays 7,000, 1,000 pays 1,400, so $8,400. $8,400. What do they have to work with? 14,400. Now, same thing. They're going to collect this and go to 10,000. And then the very next hit, which is going to pay 14,000, both of these players are going to go to table max at 20,000. If the table is a $20,000 max table. If it's a $10,000 max table, they're already there. So, let's look at what we would do with the 6 and 8. So 120 is going to pay 140. Player's likely going to say, give me 150 for 10. And what are they going to do? Well, what do they have to work with? They have $260 to work with. All right. This player is going to throw in another $20. Now we're at the first hit. This player is going to throw in another $20. Say, take me to 280. This player is going to take their 140 and just say straight press. And I apologize, this player would not go to 280, this player would go to 270. So they would only throw in $10. Okay. While this player goes straight up to 240. So that's after one hit. Now after two hits, what's going to happen? Well, what does 270 pay? Well, 240 pays 280, and 30 pays 35. So we're looking at 315, okay? 315, what do they have to work with? They have they have $585 to work with. $585. So what should they do? Throw in 5, go to 540, collect that other 50. Or throw in 15, or throw in 20, take it up to 600. Since we know this player likes to go for it, that's what they're most likely going to do. 240 pays 280. So what do they have to work with? 4, 5. They have 520 to work with. Okay. Press it all the way up again. We go to 480. They collect a little bit. 6 pays 7. So this gets paid 700. Now, from 700, they're just going to press all the way. They go to 1200. This player's at 480. It's going to pay 560. What do they have to work with? This player is going to go to 900. So 1200 is going to pay 1400. 1400, what do they have to work with? 2600. Go to 24. Why not? 900 pays 1050. What are they most likely going to go to? Probably 1800. This player is going to go to 1800. Fifth hit. So what are we at? 24 is going to pay 28. They've got 4. They've got 5,200. They throw in another 200. They go to 5,400. This player has, what do we say? This player has 18, which is going to pay 2,100. They're likely going to go to 36. Okay, this player goes to 36. So 54 pays 63. Now, at this point, what's likely to happen? They're either going to hit the $10,000 table max, which would be, they would be allowed to place 12,000, or they go to 12,000 and hit the table max on the next roll. Same with this player. This player is, well, actually no, this player's going to be a little bit short. So 33,600 is going to pay 4,200. So this player is actually a beat behind come the 6th roll. It's going to take this player the 7th roll in order to get to the $10,000. And then from there, they can go on up from there. So that is the power press at a larger table or a larger starting amount. I hope that helps you guys. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We will catch you next time.